Rightio, Brian. This is Cha-Ching, Daily Telegraph reporting this. The ARL Commission will post record revenue in excess, if you don't mind, of $740 million for 2024 and a surplus of more than $60 million. So revenue of almost $750 million.
Yeah, that's great. Revenue's good, but I always look at the bottom line. What's the EBITDA? What is it? What's our net profit?
Well, I'll answer it this way. The game now boasts more than $320 million in net assets after a concerted campaign to protect the game from financial disaster. The Commission topped $700 million in revenue for the first time in 2023, but the 2024 season has left that mark in its wake as the game surges towards the billion-dollar barrier. In other words, it is flying.
Yeah, all jokes aside, that is where we were before COVID.
Yep.
Before Peter Valeni's took over, there was all this. We were broke. The game was broke.
Yep.
Now COVID certainly helped.
Yes.
Because we were the only game on TV along with racing there for a little while. But what's happened after that? And you've got to give, for all Peter's, whatever he's done, you've got to give him the accolade. He did change the rules a little bit along with the Commission. Some people at the time said, oh, no, this is going to change. We've got to keep the fabric of the game. The shoulder charge was ousted, the sin bin rule, all that sort of stuff. And at the time, everyone was going, no, we're changing it. But the game has attracted more and more sponsors. And this is why the game has now got almost $1 billion in revenue.
This man, St. Peter, you refer to, you think about a few little things. Everest, just across the way from here, they broadcast the barriers on the numbers on the Opera House.
Yes.
He brought the Everest in the first place. He's taken rugby league to Las Vegas. We were the first code basically in the world to come back to action after COVID.
Yep.
He just keeps getting stuff done. And now he's had the audacity, the high, the temerity, the gall to do this, seated behind a desk with a student in front of him emblazoned with Trump. Our man, St. Peter Valeni's did his best to rouse the president's interest in rugby league. Here is Peter Valeni's asking Trump to do what?
Good morning, Mr. President. I know you watch Fox and Friends, which is a great program, extremely fair and balanced. Mr. President, we want to introduce you to the toughest game on earth, rugby league, in the world's sport and entertainment capital, Las Vegas. We know you love physical, tough contact sports. There's no sport more brutal than rugby league. Our players don't wear pads or helmets. As you know, Mr. President, the US has a trade surplus with Australia, one of the rare countries. You attending will balance this out a bit. Hope to see you at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on Saturday, March 1. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Fox and Friends.
Thank you, Dale Carnegie.
It's amazing. Like when he said he was going to come, I saw him at the races 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Is he a chance?" He goes, "Mate, a 25% chance." And then he said, "I'm going to go on." He didn't say TV. He said, "I'm going to go into the media and hopefully entice him." And I was thinking, he's going to go on Sunrise with Shervo or something ridiculous like that. Then all of a sudden he pops up. They were saying it was like. They said there's 100 million people watching
Fox and Friends,
that show.
So he's gone to the show that he knows the Trumpster chimes in the back line.
Well, I suppose Lachlan and Rupert might have had something to do with it, helped him out a little bit. But he was at Daytona, the Trumpster. Did you see what he did?
No.
So he flew over and everyone went berserk, because that's his gang, those people. And then he gets out and he's got a limo and with the Secret Service, and he did a lap in the car and then just took off.
Did he?
Some say he did a couple of burnouts, like a couple of donuts, but he went and did a hot lap.
Wow.
So
are you saying he's not no chance, is he?
Like anyone else, you would think, it's a bit far-fetched, but you Peter, whatever he said, he's backed it up.
So is he the number one dial turner? Like if rugby league needed somebody there, and people said, if he goes there, it'll be like Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, all these clips. And there will be clips of him. And why wouldn't you leverage the bloody hell out of that? But who would you say, if it's not Donald Trump, who could turn the dial the most?
Tom Brady.
Brady?
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
If you want, Who else? Who else would? I mean, a Taylor Swift.
Well, Sportsbet's got Gronkowski coming out
You got
here.
the Gronk?
Would have been good to have the Gronk there, but he's going to be out at the Blue Diamond with Sportsbet.
No, having the Trump there. Because then people will say, because they unfortunately the Yanks
Validation.
They don't know anything about our game. They still call it rugby.
Yeah, yeah.
But at least it's getting closer and closer.
Yep.
To rugby league.
Yes, yes. How much would that be worth? Just
Oh.
mate, him being there and all the clips and the locals and what's he doing there, the Trump Meister. But anyway, there you go. Well done to you, St. Peter. Peter Volandi's rival clubs. Okay, now, I'm going to give you the greatest backflip since Daly Cherry Evans. Rival clubs discuss 10-year, $11 million mega deal for EELS star Dylan Brown. Peter Bedell and Brent Reid through the Daily Telegraph reporting that Brown's management, he's 24, discussed offers up to 10 years, Brian. Now, I said on this very program, $1.2 million is ridiculous.
Yep.
It is a stupid signing. But now when I read this, 10 years for $11 million, which is 1.1, I'm heavily in favour. Why do you ask? Thanks, good question, Brian. I'll tell you why I ask. 10 years is a long time, and $1.1 million in 10 years' time is not $1.1 million today. We weren't signing players 10 years ago.
No.
Nathan Cleary 10 years ago, or his equivalent, which there probably is none, were not getting, well, that's unfair, I suppose, but certainly the Jonathan Thurstons, the Billy Slaters were probably not even cracking the $1 million.
No, but that was because the game didn't have the money in it.
So what I'm saying is there's every chance in 10 years' time that we've got $2 million players.
Yes, but what this will do, and his management, because they're quite savvy, they've already done it, he'll have the nurse ratchet.
Oh, you're going to say ratchet clause?
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Salary cap goes up, your whack goes up.
Well, I don't agree with that. If you're going to sign such a big bumper contract...
It's CPI, it's
no
inflation.
Nurse ratchet.
No, you're going to have a nurse ratchet.
You can't have that 10 years, 1.1 a year, and a nurse ratchet.
There will be a nurse.
If you're a club and you take 10 years, 1.1 plus nurse ratchet, you're an idiot.
Well, it's going to happen.
No.
It won't be every year. It won't be every year, but it will be, if the salary cap goes up within those 10 years, that would adjust to his 1.1. So if it goes up by 5%, there you go. He's going to get an extra, what's that, 50?
I would definitely sign him on an $11 million contract for 10 years, sans ratchet of the nurse.
That's not going to happen.
Okay.
And I think he'll stay at the Eels.
All right. Well, I think him getting that type of money with a ratchet is fantasy. Speaking
hang
of
on,
that,
we've got a huge fan base of Parramatta Eels. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Would you give Dylan Edwards? I'd give Dylan Edwards that. Dylan Brown 1.1 for 10 years. Oh no! Holy hell!
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's Brad Arthur sitting there. Of course, that's why you wouldn't give it to you, Brad. How's life, Brad? Anyway, what's going on? Oh, okay.
We've got Corey Parker here.
Yes, I know.
You're a host as well.
Well, it's time for Team List Tuesday. You know it's just dropped.
Okay, let's do it.
You know it's just dropped. Look, the fans want it.
Yes, okay, let's do it.
The teams are in. It's time for Team List Tuesday.
Okay, I'll take the reins. We start at Leichhardt Oval, 6 p.m. Friday. 6 p.m. Friday, the silver tail of the Eagle. Seagulls taking on the Panthers, and what have they done team-wise here? The Penrith Panthers, for obvious reasons, they're on their way to Vegas, or will be. So they have set up pretty much a team. Asu Kapoa, you may know him. Sony Luke, you may know him. Trent Talau gets a start at halfback. Aside from that, they've gone with the young brigade, who you may not know most of them. As far as Manly is concerned, Clayton Falalo, he's going to be playing fullback. Kohler's going to be playing. Garrick's going to be playing. Young Willett, who was terrific last week. Jake Arthur's been given the number 7. Siwa Taukeaho, gentlemen.
Yeah, he went good.
He's back.
He went
He's
really
back.
good.
And Jazz Tavanga gets a chance at the number 9. So maybe an opportunity there for Jazz Tavanga.
Question without notice, is Lockie Croker named? I know he's...
No.
So he's
on ice.
He's on ice.
He's injured as well.
He is.
All right.
No.
Literally on ice.
Brian, take us to the second part of the doubleheader, which is Leichhardt Oval at 8 o'clock. West Tigers taking the Eels.
Bit of a golden Westfield of this. Adam Dewey, who you asked me who you're looking for. I'd like to see Adam Dewey at 7.
Yep.
I like the cut of his jib.
At 7?
He's the one who went in, no management. He said, I'm going to look after myself. Got the deal done with Richo. Now, Richo is quite the tyrant and got what he wanted. So, well done to Adam Dewey. He's going to be number 7.
Right.
He's going to obviously partner with Lockie Galvin. Jerome Luai is going to go in fresh. So he's not playing any trials. He's just going to be kicking off in round 1, as is Appy Coruscant. Now, former Rooster, Terrell May. In the off-season, we heard about that. Any Rooster supporters there?
No, none here.
Look at him. Gosh.
None here.
The mic's off. You can't hear. Well, Terrell May is going to make his first appearance as Tiger, as is Jack Bird and Royce Hunt. So, Charlie Staines comes in.
Yep.
So, other than it's a pretty strong side, other than their 2 guns in Jerome and Appy. Now, let's go to the Eels. Your man, Zachy Lomax, Zack Attack. Well, he's going to make his Eels debut in the centres. Jermaine Hopgood's back, Ryan Madison, Luca Moretti, Matt Dury, and Sean Russell are all in. But Ronnie Volkman, who I thought played pretty good last week.
Yeah.
He's kept the number 7 jersey, and no Dylan Brown, he's under arrest. He's going to count all his money.
All right, on debut for Team List Tuesday, we move on to game number 3 of week number 2, officially, I suppose, of the trials. It is the Charity Shield. Glen Willow Oval at Mudgee, 3 p.m. Johnny's happy here. It's his birthday as well, Johnny, the Bunnies fan, who's sitting in the front row. Corey Parker, the Dragons, the red V of the Dragons, taking on the red and green of the Rabbitohs. How does this play out?
Yeah, big game there in Mudgee. You touched on Shugs, but not too much change for the Dragons. I mean, Shane Flanagan's name, pretty much the starting 13. They got the job done against the Roosters. A couple of new recruits in Gutho and Val Holmes and Cookie and Ilias will continue their role. The big change, I suppose, that everyone wants to look forward to is the old gunslinger and Wayne Bennett and what sort of team he's put together, and it's stacked.
Wow.
Latrell Mitchell will take his place and captain the team. With Jack White and Tyrone Munro, as we heard there before, Tallis Duncan, Jaden Sullivan, they all back up from the All-Stars. What is Jaden Sullivan and also Lewis Dodd going to come with in the halves? They got Kepi and also Mawale. Looks like they might be the starting front rowers moving forward. Tallis Duncan into the back row with Clyde Matangi and Lachlan Hubner, who spent some time at the Dolphins.
He did, didn't he? He did.
Followed Uncle Wayne down.
Yep.
So that's going to be a pretty strong team. The other one who no Big Bearhead is very keen on is Jamie Humphries.
I love Jamie Humphries. Have you seen him?
I've seen him
in the flesh.
I've seen him
he's a very attractive-looking young man. And I say that with the utmost respect.
I don't think you do.
I do.
I think you say it just how you see it.
Yeah.
But he can play.
You got him into the top 20, I think it was.
Well,
Rookie of the year when it comes to...
For good reason.
Now, I tell you...
Seen the pipes on him?
Oh, I've seen the pipes.
Holy hell.
Couple of Warwick
I've
Farms.
seen the pipes.
Goodness me.
Those arms have got their own postcard. Brian,
Yeah.
there is a lot of people, I reckon, be holding a Tyrell Sloan ticket for a top try scorer.
Yes.
I do note here, Sione Finau and Matthew Fine, I would suggest that they're the front runners for the wing positions.
What about Lawso?
What about Ravalawa?
Well, I think Ravalawa was probably third on the list.
Yeah.
But I was super impressed with young Lawson last week. I don't think... Is young Sloan...
18th man.
Okay, because I heard that last week he had a bit of a calf injury.
Okay.
So my spies tell me down there on the down there in Helensburgh.
Okay, all right. So there you go. There you go. What do you think, Cosra, about these two teams marching into 2025?
Yeah, interesting one for the Dragons. New coach, a few new recruits. Benny Hunt now not there, and he's spoken about it, the coach, in why that's the case. The more interesting fact is Wayne going back to the Rabbitohs. Look, I see the Dragons thereabouts. The thing that worries me about the Dragons is their forward pack. To go north on the ladder and to go there quickly, you need a really, really dominant forward pack. And there's no disrespect to the gentlemen there, but Gula, Couchman, Leilua, and then their depth is going to be sort of tested at times. The South Sydney Rabbitohs, you'd sort of...
No, hang on. Brian,
Yeah.
If somebody says... It's 100% strike rate, by the way. If somebody ever says... No disrespect. What are they actually doing, Brian?
But you're disrespecting heavily.
It's like saying in all due respect, and then you can tee off, right?
And it's like, look, no offence. But you know it's coming.
Yeah, you know it's coming.
But, yeah, I mean, Wayne's side, they were pretty dismal the last sort of 18 months. Wayne's gone back there. He's signed a couple of big names. Latrell's parked he's parked the bar for the new gym in his house, and everyone will be looking to see what he comes up with. So.
Okay.
I've still got Okay, I'm going to ask you this, Cos. Where do they finish? Have you got either side?
Second last year, by the way.
South will go in the 8.
South
will go in the 8 for me. Broncos will go in the 8 for me. The Knights will come out of the 8, and your tricolours, they'll come out of the 8.
Okay.
Are you not worried about South Sydney's half and hooker?
Yeah.
Are you a little bit worried?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I
am. But
Brian,
I think they've got enough stars to complement that.
See that tide that's coming in?
Yeah.
I am swimming heavily against it.
Yeah.
Side bet Central, Roosters.
Yeah,
there you
Roosters
go.
are in.
Chromie Tourist, Chromie. Roosters will finish higher on the ladder than South.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm with you.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Yep. We are against the tide, Brian, aren't we?
I'm hearing something about...
Brian has to say that.
No,
I know.
Are you
No,
still
I don't.
on the payroll?
No,
I
I'm not.
know.
I'm not on the payroll at all.
What?
I am completely neutral, except for that City Ford car that's out there. No, it's not
He
right.
played for both of them.
Yeah, I know.
I'm worried about I think the Damien Cook letting him go is going to come back and bite them. Now, there is talk that there's a player out there that Wayne is looking at. He's a number 9. If they get this said player, I am sworn to secrecy. But if this kid comes...
Well, the said player's your man crush. Humphreys can go straight into 9.
No, mate, he's too beautiful. If he smashes his nose, I will not be able to live with myself. With all due respect.
Yes.
Okay, with all due respect, I want to take us to a 5:30 game. The Broncos won't know what's happening. 5:30 on a Saturday, they'll be so disorientated. But anyway, it is the Cavalry, and they've come back in a major way. It is the Bulldogs taking on the Broncos. You think of that 1998 grand final. What about some of the names the Broncos present? Beautiful eyes of the Walsh variety. Reece Walsh, Cobbo, Staggs. Our man, paint the picture, please, tourist. Number 5 for the Broncos, who'll be the top try scorer.
Paint your pictures about how it's gonna
Oh, Jesse. Benny Hunt at number 6, Brian. Benny Hunt at number 6. Adam Reynolds, number 7. Carrigan Pakes, who's got the nod at 9 at this stage. Payne Haas. Cozza. Payne Haas is named.
Strange to see Payno being named in a trial match. I wouldn't have thought he needed a trial match, given the fact that he's come off that surgery as well. There was sort of doubts of whether he'll play round 1. He's a great healer, as we know, Bears Head, but he's straight into the trial. He's obviously wants to get some minutes in the legs, but that's a pretty strong side. The big question mark's going to be over the 9. Who does get the 9 jersey? Pakes at this stage has the 9. He had a good opening stanza last week, a couple of tries in what was an absolute diabolical performance by the Titans, but he'll start at 9 for the Brisbane Broncos.
All righty, tourist. Just pay attention to number 5 for me, tourist, to see if you got that up your sleeve. The Bulldogs, Connor Tracy, he'll get the 1. Blake Wilson, Brian.
Wilson!
Blake Wilson's got the 2. Sherry's there. Crichton, but guess what? It is this guy.
Oh.
No, he doesn't have
Matty
it, tourist.
Burton.
No. Montoya!
Oh, you don't have it. Jacob Kiraz, he's going to be out for a month, I heard.
That's a big out.
Big
Montoya, por favor. Montoya.
Yeah. Now, because you might, and our audience might not be aware of this, this is a show in, I think it's in Spain, obviously,
Yes,
by the sound of the language.
Well done, tourist.
What it is, it's like a Temptation Island. If anyone remember that reality show, Montoya, so you're on an island with your partner. So you go in there and you might be married, you might be engaged, you might have been going out for 6 months, but you go in with your partner. Your partner then goes to another island and gets tempted.
Right.
Well, poor old Montoya's girlfriend, which is her name is Tourist. We don't know.
We don't know her name.
Well, he watches her
They get to see it live.
in bed
Right.
with and Montoya loses his shit.
So what happens is, whilst that's happening,
When were you
Montoya...
watching this?
This morning.
Yeah, so what's happening...
Straight after MILF Manor, which is another show I really like.
Is that a Paul Bongiorno?
No, basically.
It's not the former newsreader, no. It's so they are in the act, and Montoya is jetting off to catch them in said act, and then it's the girlfriends around trying to protect them, and this is why they say this, tourist.
Montoya, por favor. Montoya.
He's running on the beach.
I don't get it.
Well, his girlfriend is on Temptation
What's he
Island.
running for?
To break
To-
up.
What
to
for?
see
It's
them.
already done.
Nah.
Set act is done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's trying to break it up.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
as for
Is it time for me?
Just about. Max King, he's up the front. Samuel Hughes. Jamin Salmon's on the bit. No real big changes for Canterbury. The beautiful hair. We haven't really spoken about that, Brian. That Blake Taff
I noticed that.
has not been rewarded with his hairdo
And
or his game, and he's on the reserves list.
When he matched, what I liked about he dyed his hair for anyone who didn't see. He's gone the blonde, the slim shady type, but he also did his mow, which I thought a lot of people
Yeah.
forget about the mow.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Rubiks were done too.
We've got an old saying though, Brian. If they've got a mow,
Let them go.
let them go, and that's exactly what they've done. He might have to get rid of that mow.
Okay, so let's go to the Queensland Derby. Dolphins and Titans. Now the Titans were diabolical. How bad were they? That was...
Well, they had 4 players missing out of their top squad. Only 4.
Yeah.
And 50 points put on them after an hour from the Broncos, who had a depleted team.
Yeah.
So you'd want to see a response in this game.
Well, guess what? Desi's kept the same 13. He said, boys, you've embarrassed me once. You've embarrassed me twice. If it happens again, you'll get some Kimbo slice. Well, this is what's happened here. Titans, he's got the same 13, but we've got this. Tino, Keanu Kinney, Jaden Campbell, and Khan Pereira are all named. So they're on the bench. So he's going to give those kids, or not the kids, that team last week, he said, righto, boys, aim up, otherwise you're out. Don't know whether the AJ experiment worked either.
Oh, you know what? I've got an idea for Shawnee the Trader and the team there at Sportsbet, a Queensland quadrilla. And I'm asking you, Corey Parker, question without notice. If you had to put in order, because this is an all-Queensland derby, Dolphins taking the Titans. Right as it stands, the Queensland quadrilla, according to Corey Parker, is what?
Brisbane Cowboys, Dolphins, Titans.
Brisbane Cowboys, Dolphins, Titans. Where are you, Brian? Are you congruent with that?
I've got the Dolphins. I've got the Dolphins in the 8. As well as the Bronx.
Imagine what last
Cowboys.
year's...
I've got the Cowboys out and Titans are out.
Imagine what last year's Queensland quadrilla would have paid.
Okay, and by the way, Tommy Gilbert is back for the Dolphins.
Oh, that's a great story.
That's a big one. Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully the Flegmeister, how's he going?
Your team... Bears Head. The Roosters take on the Knights, and there's some big inclusions for the Roosters. Tedesco back into the fold. Tupou also back in there. Dom Young. Then they got Chad Townsend. Does he start in the halves for the Roosters moving forward with the injury still? Lindsay Collins, Watson, Lenu, Crichton and Radley. It's a pretty strong pack.
And Siwa Wong.
Their bench, a couple of younger ones, Nat Butcher, also Nafahu White. Then you go across to the Knights. Now, Kalen Ponga off the back of that All-Star game. Schiller will get his first opportunity. Gagai, Best, Marju, Fletcher Sharp and Tyson Gamble. Saifidi, Crossland, Leo Thompson, Lucas and Kai Pearce-Paul and Frizzell. So that's a pretty strong team too.
What we're seeing here, boys, 2 teams who were lacklustre in the first trial. They've pretty much pulled a trigger on what should be very, very close to their round 1 team. So they are all in. They need to get going. That is the Roosters. That is the Knights. This is the run home with Joel and Fletch and Cozza Parker, who's going to talk all things Supercoach, which is super fun right after this at Luna Park. Get your teams ready. And while you're in the break, folks, feel free to join our team. And the code, if you want to go to Supercoach right now whilst we go to a break, the code is 3501. 3501. I've lost it. Can you believe that?
Yes.
What else is it?
Yeah.
351105. Thank you, tourist.
Which is basically Cozza.
We've got a break. Sorry, tourist. We're going to break now.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade. But if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.